Stereo. Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our grand Aquarium Emperor, the Triviamaster of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Triviamaster Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not... we must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval, Grand Triviamaster of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and with me as always is Intern Critical Hit.
Hello there, I'm Intern Kristie. Hello. Yes, it is. It is indeed. Well, howdy, partner. And you'll know when your day is up.
Yes.
Hail Fluval.
Hail
Yay,
me.
Fluval. Applause.
Wow.
Applause for Fluval. I love these little dinosaur fish. I think that... Thank you so much. Hello,
Those look like Denver the Last Dinosaur. Thanks for the cash register sound, Redactron.
Hello. And everyone should check out, apparently, is it Opala Koala who's been eating ice cream for breakfast every day?
Oh, let's bring up that Instagram.
Opala Koala, is it you who consumes ice cream every day for breakfast? They have a wonderful Instagram, which I recently found.
It's
and it's delightful. They post
Yeah.
photos of their ice cream with items.
And now, obviously, we normally wouldn't be fans of consuming matter, but this is an exception.
Especially because they display exciting items, some of which, yes, were received from us. None of these ones yet.
None of them yet.
These
Here we go.
Yet. I want
was
that
us.
sort of instant. Yes, that is Opala Koala. This is us.
Yeah,
This is us.
DKJ for breakfast.
That's right. Tell us, Opala.
I love the Netflix DVDs that you feature, too. That's really good.
Have you noticed...
here's a classic one.
Yes!
From us.
Yes! And you should all be getting something similar soon. And as a wonderful segue, first, Opala Koala, have you noticed any substantive changes in your levels of suffering since beginning your ice cream for breakfast journey? I do love that for you. I feel like it's a way to save all your suffering for us for this show, where it's our intellectual property, and we love that. But I'll use that as a jumping off point to show you all what you're going to get as a patron.
Oh, yeah, let's showcase what you can expect.
Soon, you can all expect something like this. And the winner this week, that's right, you're going to get a Wonka bar.
Yeah.
You're going to get your very own Wonka bar. Yeah, it's a Wonka bar. Is it matter? Ha ha. Nope, it's a sticker.
No.
It's a sticker.
Wonka bar sticker.
Look at this stack of Wonka
Look at that
bars.
sweet stack of bars.
The sweet stack of bars that we got at Scrap, which is the creative reuse place, for free because it was all I found that I liked that day.
Yeah, 9 years ago, ice cream for breakfast, and now Opala Koala's in better shape than before.
Amazing.
Is there
a golden ticket inside? We're not going to tell you so that you suffer from not knowing.
Is it made of actual wonks?
Is it made from actual
Yeah, we
lunks?
turned
Yep.
policy nerds into bars.
We do. That's what we do because we want. That's right. All of your suffering belong to us, ours only. Any other source of suffering in your life, ew, gross, disgusting, eliminate it. Give it to us.
Yes.
Feed us your suffering.
And you can give us your suffering
The golden
by
flu
joining
book.
our game of trivia by going to crowd.live and entering the code K6NJ4 or clicking that handy dandy link in the chat that will also be pinned to the top of the chat.
Fresh from the Iowa caucuses.
Yes.
It's really one of our largest farming organizations or conglomerates, I suppose, corporations.
Well, and
What do
thank you
call
for the
that?
disappointment of ye old mill, which is a great form of suffering.
Oh, ye
'Cause-
old mill joint?
Yeah, because you assume that the mill is going to be a fun ride.
Yeah.
And then you just go in a circle in the darkness, broken up by advertising for the fair you're
Yep.
already at. So you clearly know about it.
I almost just want us to watch that video again.
Oh, cool. I sure should check out that at that place. Oh, wait, it's right outside. Great.
Oh my god, I'm here. I was
It's
just
like-
on a boat in the darkness.
It's like when cities advertise for themselves within themselves, and it's like, I get it. I know.
Like, I know where I am. The only place that's helpful is airports. 'Cause,
Yeah, well, airports, it's-
You want to know
yeah.
as soon as possible where you got off.
And you should also, again, join our game of trivia, like an owlbear named Owlbear Sound. Oh, Halfa Coelfa. Captain Iskix.
Captain Iskix!
Captain Iskix, the famed dragonborn pirate.
Captain Iskix!
Cowbo Bebo.
Fucker of the ocean.
Fucker of the ocean. Ye old mill, disappointing wizard. BDNDSM. DNDNPP.
Oh,
Bloggens and bloggins. Bootleg bard.
Ooh.
I don't know, CBC?
don't
Single
know.
hit point. And Pinkertons suck shit.
Pinkerton suck shit.
Pinkertons do suck shit, and
They
that's of course a
do.
reference to when Wizards of the Coast sent the Pinkertons to retrieve a copy of Magic the Gathering that wasn't supposed to be out yet, but someone reviewed on the internet. They sent the actual Pinkertons.
We don't own any of that suffering, and I
No.
find it repulsive.
No, that's the repulsive kind
That's
of
a
suffering.
lot of fucking suffering.
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't
actual
belong to
suffering,
us.
and not like fun super villainy like we're into.
Oh, the Oregon ad. Is there a good Oregon ad for Oregon? With the beaver on the back of their flag?
Yeah, you have a beaver on the back of your flag. Does it talk about that? Mm-hmm. Does it talk about the
Bard
exploding
coming,
whale
saw it
park?
coming.
Remember Exploding Whale Park?
Oh, yeah!
There's a whole park dedicated to the exploding whales.
Lots
I
of
wonder
things
what would
explode.
happen in a world where they successfully killed Baldur's Gate 3 with the other D&D derived video games.
Ooh. Interesting. It would be terrible. It would be a bad world, and suffering wouldn't belong to us.
No, it was not a superior video game.
We love... Wait, is this like a Wizards of the Coast D&D game?
It's the Temple of Elemental Evil is a D&D video game, yes.
Okay. And?
It's a remake of an actual Dungeons and Dragons adventure using the 3.5 edition rules.
Okay.
It's just not as good as Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, well, that's fair.
None of the older ones are
Yeah.
quite as good as Baldur's Gate 3, except perhaps Baldur's Gate
Almost.
2 and Baldur's Gate 1. There was a text-based Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawler where you
That's
had to type
fun.
go forward, go left, go right.
I love that. That's so much suffering.
And do you
Just
think it
waiting?
explained the rules of combat?
Absolutely
No,
not.
you just had to hopefully pick it up as your fighting man.
Wow. The one with the whales that blow up. Yes. Yes, Exploding Whale Beach. That beach doesn't make you old. It makes you covered in the inside of a whale.
I think that was that Curse of the
Look,
Azure
well,
Bonds?
The Curse of the Azure
Yeah, oh no,
Bomb.
this is Curse of the Azure Bonds was a more advanced version, but here's the general vibe.
Critical fail. Like, oh no!
Yeah, it was like this, except instead of
Musky.
arrows, you had to type where you're going in the dungeon.
Oh no, that's aubergine? Or is that eggplant? What is it called? The stuff that's on the inside of a whale. They had a Futurama about it. Ambergris! Ambergris musk. You see, we get so many resources from whales. Ambergris, whale oil, the flower pots, the ability to communicate with certain alien species.
Yeah, that's key.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah. Like, you don't want to be going into certain negotiations without a humpback.
Oh, I have to make some serious alterations to my Halloween TTRPG based on this, and it's not even question one. Definitely a big fan of Halloween-inspired TTRPGs. Intern Forrest played a haunted house RPG that was a lot of fun, where he was a Star Wars YouTuber as a bard.
Amazing.
And he did the Obi-Wan holding a lightsaber pose whenever he had to flourish.
The film Whale Rider, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Whales give us so much.
Whales give us so much.
Wolfenstein 3D. But
Yeah,
just
whales
walking.
give us that.
Whales give us so much. Free
They give
Willy.
us the cool dragon flag.
Yes, they did.
Whales
They
gave us
that
the cool dragon flag.
They gave us that show that was the spin-off.
Torchwood?
Yes, they gave us Torchwood.
Yeah, we're doing D&D trivia, Calico Sky.
Yes, we are, and you haven't missed any of it.
You haven't missed any of it.
We've been talking about
Because we've been talking about
whales.
ambergris while we waited for people to join our game, just like Pinkertons suck shit.
It's the same people.
Oh, a single hit point.
Oh,
I don't know,
get in there.
CBC. Bootleg Bard. Oh, you're attacking the darkness. I believe what you mean is...
Oh, whales also can transport us between galaxies.
Magic missile.
To attack the darkness.
Yes. They can take us
We'll have to
between
watch that.
galaxies. They can make really compelling
Hello,
endings.
Happy Rogue as well. They can talk to space probes threatening to destroy the planet Earth.
Yeah. The Vagini.
No, that wasn't Vagini. That was a different space probe. V'ger was from a whole different movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's what would WWGD, what would
Wait, we had to talk to a probe
what would
again?
Glut do? What would Glut do?
What would Glut do?
No, the whales aren't in the first one at all.
But the whales are in the
Star
fourth
Trek
one.
4, the best Star Trek movie ever
Are
made.
they also talking to a probe?
Yeah. Well, not a
What
probe.
are we talking? Okay, they're talking to actual aliens, right?
Yeah, it's actual aliens.
Okay.
but
That's what I thought.
It's an
I was
alien
like,
probe. No,
again, a probe?
no, it's an alien probe.
It's another fucking probe?
I swear this will be about Dungeons and Dragons, but right now it's about Star Trek.
Probes! Star Trek, terrified of probes.
See?
If there's one
Whale
thing.
probe.
Whale probe!
It was a designation for an immense probe of unknown origin which visited Earth in 2286. It was given this designation due to the fact that it apparently came to Earth in order to contact members of the humpback whale species. And that's the whale from Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, where they got to talk to it.
That feels more directed, though,
Yeah, but they didn't
than
know
like
that.
a probe.
But it is a probe. It's a probe. It's called the whale probe.
But it's like a probe with a mission, you know?
I mean, that's so you're saying the probe droids in The Empire Strikes Back aren't a probe? Because they have a directed mission too to find the hidden rebel
They're
base.
probe droids.
Yeah, the whale probe is a whale probe.
And it looks for whales, but like it has like a but it's not a probe droid, it's just a
It's
probe.
a whale probe.
Yeah, it just goes in
I want
search
to
of
cast
whales.
magic missile.
Dungeons and Dragons
Yes.
does not appear to be listed on Memory Alpha.
Oh.
There's Batleths and Bunics, which is swords and cowards,
I usually
which is the
probe
Klingon
with-
version of it. But yeah, anyway, Calico Sky has joined. Everyone who has talked about wanting to join. Wait, you don't?
I do.
Well, of course I know you do. Yeah, I know you do, but they have to also have it.
But it takes 5 seconds for it to start, so I need to know I want to hear it 5 seconds before I do. Just so you guys know. But it seems like I'm slow.
You should have it again now. Or now.
I also
Okay.
have a slide whistle. That's
Yours
kinda
is
like
back.
a
You have the
theremin.
alien sound again as we have the countdown to our game of trivia.
Fluval. Did you see
Yeah,
the
they are-
alien body?
They
Can
are
we
Gracie
talk
and
about that
George.
later?
Yeah, we can talk about it later.
Okay.
I know that guy.
Okay, yeah, no, because Fluval's friend is on display.
But here's your first question, which is hard to read on this background. Dungeons and Dragons was originally designed by Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax, Margaret Weiss, R.A. Salvatore, or
Potatoes.
Tracy Hickman.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Okay, fix that. Lock in your answers. Dungeons and Dragons was originally designed by Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax, Margaret Weiss, R.A. Salvatore, or Tracy Hickman. That is loud as hell now.
It's because all we need to hear is the aliens.
I mean, look,
And
good
you're
news.
an alien. All I need to hear is you, Fluval.
Good news. All you will hear when that plays is the aliens. Okay, I just turned it down.
Very short, like, dance break. Like, stinger break.
Well, okay. Everyone has their answers in. 14 of you said Gary Gygax. The only other person getting any answers was R.A. Salvatore. Well, let's see what's correct. It is, of course, Gary Gygax.
Gary Gygax.
Margaret Wise and Tracy Hickman wrote the Dragonlance series of Dungeons and Dragons novels, and R.A. Salvatore is a novelist who wrote multiple books set in the Dungeons and Dragons settings, specifically Forgotten Realms, and he also created the Drow Ranger Drizzt Do'Urden, who is a pretty iconic Dungeons and Dragons character and has even starred in video games like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, I believe, had him, which has nothing to do with the Baldur's Gate series. They just realized it was their marketable name for video games.
Gary Gygax. More like Gary Gygax. I love Calico Sky that you have this confidence within you.
Oh, it's a different one with Drizzt. It's Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, not
Wonderful.
Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
I am so happy that your confidence will be crushed.
Oh,
Your
we're gonna-
suffering
yeah.
will belong to us. Oh, yum, delicious. This is great. How does everyone know this? Blog, was it you? It's because there's a Simpsons
There's a
joke.
Futurama episode too where
Yeah, he's
Gary
in a
Gygax
Futurama.
appears with Nichelle Nichols and Al Gore and Stephen Hawking.
But my favorite
Yeah,
one is,
that was an episode they sure did on Community.
in the one on The Simpsons, didn't they show him playing a game with death? It's like Gary Gygax died, and you get to choose one game to play with death,
Yeah.
and he chose Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It was, yeah, he
Ah! And there's like, death, like a roll to a.
did. And in Futurama, he rolls to see if it was a pleasure to meet someone.
Yeah. My friends drove to his former home in Wisconsin. I love that. Love that for them. Beautiful pilgrimage.
They just all know Gary.
We all
personally.
know Gary.
Like
It's
we
our
also
friend, Gary.
Gary Gygax.
Gary Gygax.
We
Is
know
that
what
his
else?
real last name?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Humans are sometimes okay.
Yeah, he was born Ernest Gary Gygax.
Gygax.
And he also founded Gen Con, the gaming convention.
Dungeons and Dragons.
But he also developed Chainmail, which was a
Gygax.
war game that was in many ways a predecessor to
Creator of
D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, I don't know what that accent is.
Oh, and now there's a role-playing
Ooh.
convention that happens. So yeah, he founded Gen Con, and then after he
Amazing.
died, at his funeral, people just left and went to a nearby place and played board
Yep.
games together.
Yep.
And so now they do a con every year on the anniversary of his death to commemorate it.
He also invented chain letters.
No, he did the game Chain Mail.
Oh,
And
that's
so
fun.
Chain Mail is chain letters.
Go back to Star Trek? No.
No, we're gonna go to the
I love your
leaderboard.
suffering.
Where Halifa Coelfa is in first.
suffering.
Ye Old Mill, Disappointing Wizard in second. D&D and PP also tied for first with those previous two players. Bloggens and Blogons, the only person to get that answer wrong. All the way right now in last place. And of course, this week each question is worth 100 points, but the points count down the longer you take to answer. It's not like the recent games where every question has been worth 1,000 points.
Ha-ha!
So,
We'll see how that changes things.
we'll see how that changes things as we go to question number 2.
Number 2.
Which of these is not one of D&D's main ability scores? Dexterity, insight, strength, or wisdom? And specifically, which of these is not an ability score in Dungeons and Dragons? Specifically, ability scores. Read this question carefully, or you may suffer. Though it doesn't seem like you're going to suffer based on the answers that are in so far, which is disappointing.
Disappointing, but
Don't
it's
worry.
always nice to bring them up a little bit
Yeah.
to then, deliver the sucker punch. Who's that guy with piss hands? That's an excellent question because he kind of looks like he should be a Bilbo.
This
looks
is the
Rankin
Dungeon
Bass.
Master from the D&D cartoon.
I guess that's why he looks Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
When was that?
This was in 1983, from 83 to 85. And these characters also all appeared in the D&D movie.
Like, could you make a question worth 100 points, but make it negative 1,000 if you get it wrong? That's
that-
a nice
I could.
suffering.
Well, no, I can't, but I could. But I can't.
Okay, I see.
But I could.
I see, because you can do anything.
I can do anything. I
Yeah.
have no limitations.
Oh, only about the 2000 movie. Only about that movie. The worst D&D.
Wait. Wait. Are you saying the new D&D movie is worse than the 2000s one with Jeremy Irons? Because they're in the new one. Not the original Jeremy
Yeah,
Irons
Studio
one.
Cat, did you not like the
Did
new
you not
D&D
like
movie?
D&D Honor Among Thieves?
I was so curious. I mean, it was kind of like, it was fun.
I mean, it's not great,
It
but
wasn't
it's...
like the Barbie movie or
No,
some
well, what
shit.
is? Give Greta Gerwig the D&D movie.
Instead
I mean,
of
it's a Narnia.
Narnia.
It's just a less Christian version of it.
Do you think that she's also going to have the oldest sister go to hell forever because she likes boys?
Probably not. That doesn't seem like a Gerwig move. But let's see what you pick.
Thank you.
15 of you said insight, 1 of you said dexterity. Insight is the correct answer because that's a skill proficiency, not an ability score.
I would not know the answer to this. I don't know how all of you know the answer to this.
Oh, you watched it for this stream. Yeah, it was fine enough.
Yeah, it was fine enough.
Greta Gerwig, Gary Gygax. Greta Gerwig, Gary Gygax. Greta Gerwig, Gary Gygax. Oh, hello, Greta.
Oh, hey, Greta. Hello.
Hello. Greta, why don't you...
Shoot, was it you? Was it you the one person who got it wrong?
Greta, turn your
LG?
gaze on the leaderboard. And actually, let's see. I can see who got it wrong.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Let's cause them suffering.
Yeah, we gotta cause them suffering.
Suffering.
Oh, never mind. It was Argyle. It was Argyle. D&D PP is in first. Ohafa, Coelfa in second. Tied with BD and DSM. Oh, well, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, imagine if Matt Berry had been in that role.
Imagine if
Admittedly,
Matt
that's him in
Berry-
any role.
Yeah, was every role.
I want Matt Berry and Catherine O'Hara to get to do something together once the strike is over.
Yes, they both come from the acting school of pronunciation.
Yes. The school of innovative ways to enunciate.
Enunciate.
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
Even as an Oompa Loompa, Hugh Grant is going to be an Oompa Loompa next to Timothy Chalamet's Wonka.
See, we don't own that suffering.
Nope.
We don't own any of the suffering that's causing any of us.
Nope.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know what would make it sweeter suffering? Is if they actually paid actors and writers a fair wage so they could actually devote their time fully to that suffering and not have to have not worked for 4 months.
Exactly.
Tom Sharp talked to Locke about how he hasn't worked for 4 months in his stream today.
Strike Captain Parby lost her sign, but she has this pokey stick to pokey stick the AMT.
Look out, Iger.
Look out, Iger. Oh, here.
Oh, also, WizWorld Live is going to hell this Friday. And they're going to fight a demonic Iger.
Which should be amazing. There's apparently going to be an excellent amount of animation
Yeah, Hunter will be on
in
also.
the episode.
As
so
a
you
fictional
should
character
all
who worked for Disney.
check it out because I'm pretty excited about animation.
I'm excited to
what they
see
come
their
up with.
animation, just like I'm excited to see question number 3.
Oh, look. You can put her legs in each of...
Oh, Matt Berry
mermaid
called in
pants.
to the Best Show stream as Graham Nash.
What?
Oh, 1BBR says it's an accurate strike sign because they fall apart pretty easily.
Never mind. This isn't
You dreamed
how
a
she
dream,
works.
but it was not to be. But you know what is to be.
Merman Mermaid Strike Captain Barbie. Mermaid Strike Captain Barbie.
For your underwater labor action needs. When hot labor summer gets too hot and you need to cool off on the picket line, Mermaid Strike Captain Barbie has you covered.
That's going into the ad. Should we just have a stream where we write the ad?
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it.
I do think that is how
that
we're
is how we have actually
get it done.
made things happen, yeah.
So join us all when we do the stream for writing our Strike Captain Barbie ad.
Yeah, watch Fluval on a stream for 6 hours. That'll be fun to see what happens. As will question 3. Which future A-list actor starred in a made-for-TV movie as a college student who starts to confuse a D&D-like game with reality?
Oh.
Was that Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, Tom Cruise, or Tom Hanks, who starred in a movie as a college student who started to confuse a game similar to D&D and reality? Missy Information says, hell yeah. A Whom Named Maddie says one of the great films. Senior is static.
I truly have no idea.
Oh,
I'm going to guess Christian Slater because
Also,
Christian is in his name.
Okay,
and this sounds like a Christian movie.
Interesting choice. Yeah, there was a 2-part in Adventures in Odyssey with the same plot, which is the radio show made by Focus on the Family.
Oh, I called it. I called it. That's a Christian thing.
Well, Adventures in Odyssey is.
Taking a stab in the dark. Was this conservative idea from Christians in America?
Hold up. You don't get too ahead of your skis. In first place, it's Brad Pitt with no answers. Yeah, I said what I said. Did it make sense? No. No one said Brad Pitt. 8 of you said Christian Slater. 1 of you said Tom Cruise. 5 of you said Tom Hanks. The correct answer is Tom Hanks. Yeah, it was Tom Hanks. He starred in Mazes and Monsters in 1982. It was a fictionalized version of the Satanic Panic over Dungeons and Dragons. He played Robbie Wheeling, a college student who becomes mentally trapped in the game's fantasy world.
Just like in Bender's game.
Yeah.
Except that I think that this movie is more remembered than Bender's game.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
I am shitting my ye old about.
And much like Bender's game, it was made for TV.
Oh.
So,
I mean, seems consistent.
there's a lot in common there.
I lied. I am Jon Snow tonight. You
know
know
nothing.
nothing.
So this is the poster for
You
Mazes and
don't
Monsters.
want it. You don't want it. All these people are trying to make you king and you don't want it.
And the film begins in media res with a scene in which a reporter meets with police searching a cavern. He is told a game of Mazes and Monsters got out of hand. And it's Robbie Wheeling or Tom Hanks as Robbie Wheeling, the college student, who has a psychotic break and hallucinates that he has slain a monster called a Gorville while spelunking in that cave. From this point forward, Robbie believes he is actually his character, the cleric Pardew, which leads him to break off his relationship with Kate to maintain celibacy and start drawing maps that will lead him to a sacred place he has seen in his dreams, the Great Hall.
I thought they liked celibacy.
Yeah, he breaks up with his girlfriend to be celibate.
Yeah, I thought that Christians liked that.
This isn't actually Christian.
Oh, okay.
This is made by Procter & Gamble.
Oh, you're right. It's Tom Hanks. It's not Christian Slater.
Yeah. And he gets reported to the cops and he dies.
Oh, no.
He believes if he jumps off a cliff... Sorry. Oh. After he confuses the two towers in his fantasy world with the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center.
Okay.
And believes that by jumping off one of those towers and casting a spell, he will go to the Great Hall.
Oh, I see.
He doesn't have spells.
I see. Chad heel turn.
Yeah.
I see.
And so it ends... He actually lives,
with
though.
9/11,
He
like
lives.
that other
no,
movie?
No, he lives. And he just is stuck in his world forever for the rest of his life.
Wow.
But he lives.
No, I don't know if I'd mind that.
Yeah.
Team Tom Hanks did a proto 9/11.
I don't have a segue. So Ohafa Coelpha
Yes.
is in first place. Ye Old Mill, Disappointing Wizard is in second. Bootleg Bard in third. Oh, we have more players too, including 3d6 Fool damage,
3D physics.
D&D and PP in 5th, WWGD, What Would Sovereign Glut Do in 6th, Single Hit Point in 7th, Calico Sky in 8th, BD and DSM in 9th, Captain Is Kicks in 10th, Happy Rogue in 11th, an owlbear named in 12th, I don't know, CBC in 13th, Cowboy Bebo in 14th, Bloggyns and Blogons in 15th, and Pinkertons Suck Shit in 16th. No, you're thinking Remember Me. That
Kicks.
Robert Pattinson movie.
Is Kicks who
Yes,
fucks
Is
the
Kicks.
sea?
Who will seduce the ocean?
Will fuck the sea. Yes. Have any of you seen that YouTube video? I think it's by Folding Ideas, where a guy spends a full week, 8 hours a day in the metaverse.
Yeah, that's Folding Ideas. That's Dan Olson.
It's so good.
Who Intern Forrest got to see at PAX.
You all need to see this video of what happens to this guy in the metaverse. Spoilers.
The metaverse
There
is-
are multiple comedy clubs, mostly filled with children.
Yeah, the future is a dead
I
mall.
wanna cast magic missile.
The future is a dead mall is the name of the video.
It's about the message.
But it's
not
about the
number.
metaverse.
Is Kicks. Who fucks the sea?
But you know, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, let's go to question 4. Which of these was not a class in first edition of Dungeons and Dragons? Cleric, elf, fighting man, or magic user?
Fighting man.
3 of these were classes in the original edition, the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons. 1 of them was not. Pick the one that was not a class
Is
in
a
the
class-
first edition.
Is a class different from a race?
Yeah, class is like, in the current edition, warlock, for example, or sorcerer.
Ooh, maybe. Fucking the sea. Ah, yeah. If you hadn't noticed, we may have played some D&D with Studio Cat and Calico Sky.
Yes.
We just made her.
Well, and also, if you want to watch some Dungeons and Dragons, be sure to join us every Tuesday for Con Artist's Journey to Baldur's Gate, where this gnome warlock is quickly having all of their body parts replaced in their pursuit of power, and they just pledge their loyalty to an underground mushroom.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, let's see what you picked. 2 of you said cleric. 10 of you said elf.
I
4 of
wanna
you said
cast
fighting man.
magic
None of you
missile.
said magic user. The correct answer is elf. That wasn't added as a class until the later Dungeons and Dragons basic set.
Now, who did I tip off with my question if a race is different from a class? Because I did not know the answer, but that was my first thought. Like, elf is not a thing you do.
So the basic set, what's weird about the basic set is it did combine race and class. The basic set let humans be clerics, fighters, magic users, or thieves, and then dwarfs, elves, and halflings were their own race class hybrids.
Okay.
I think with the idea being that, like, in the
I wanna
Fellowship,
cast magic
like in the
missile.
Fellowship, Aragorn and Boromir get to do different things, but like
But they're
Legolas
both
is elf.
fighting men.
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Look at.
I was clearly the wrong
my
approach.
amazing dice. Look at my amazing, beautiful dice. That was a tribute to Fluval from Studio Cat.
Yeah.
What did I get? I got a 10 Fluval.
That's a perfectly middling result.
What does it mean? I got a 10 on one of these.
What were you rolling for?
Hailing Fluval.
That's you pass.
Yay! What die should I have to roll to see if I can hail Fluval?
I mean, it's so contextual.
Elf is a thing I do. Oh.
Oh. Class struggle. Fooloof is going to decide all their answers with a D4. I encourage that.
All answers with a D4. Is that one of these?
It's the pyramidal.
Oh, it's the
looking one,
pyramid.
yeah.
I like the pyramid.
I feel like
Okay.
I'm a D100, yeah.
What's the AC?
Well, I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be an AC
Okay.
because it's not. You're not hurting me.
No.
It would be like.
But maybe I have to hurt someone else.
Yeah, it would be a DC.
in
I think it
order
depends.
to-
I mean, you hail me so often. You've got
I
to
got a
build up some.
4.
Okay, you failed.
Oh.
You failed.
I got a 4 on the D4 though.
Oh, that's fine. Then that's good. I thought you rolled a D100.
No, I don't have one of those here.
Well, we do have our leaderboard where Ohafa Coelfa is in first, Yield Mill Disappointing Wizard in second, and 3d6 Fool Damage in third, followed by Bootleg Bart and D&D MPP.
D&D MPP.
D&D MPP.
D&D MPP.
Why don't we go to question 5? Which goddess is known as the Lady of Loss and the Mistress of the Night in the Faerun Pantheon? Gond, Kelemvor, Selune, or Shar? Eagle-eared listeners who have played Baldur's Gate may know this one. Baldur's Gate 3. Also, the other 2 Baldur's Gates featured this deity a lot, too.
Is this the percentage die?
Fuck, I fucked up, says Studio Cat.
Suffering!
Calico Sky. I totally know this one for sure.
You think you do?
10,000%. But which goddess is known as the Lady of Loss and the Mistress of Night in the Faerun Pantheon? Gond, Kelemvor, Selune, or Shar? Well, this goddess would approve if you were lying as well.
Damn, the chat is not handling... Your chat is not handling things well tonight.
Calico Sky found that sus and blew the sus horn.
You made them a dice? That's
so
amazing.
cool. Dice Towers rule.
Ah, your stupid fat human hands.
None of you said Gond, which is correct, because Gond is the Lord of all smiths. Gond is known as the holy maker of all things, the Lord of all smiths, the gearsmith, the inspiration divine, the meddler, the wonder bringer, and Gond of the forge stinking breath. It's not Gond.
Wait.
It's not Kelemvor, because Kelemvor is the Lord of the Dead, Judge of the Damned, the Great Guide, Master of the Crystal Spire, Lord of the Crystal Spire, Lord Death, Death Lord, God of Death, and the Usurper. So not Kelemvor. And it's not Selune, because Selune is actually the nemesis of the correct answer. Selune is the goddess of the moon, Our Lady of Silver, the Moon Maiden, the Night White Lady, she who guides, and Selune, Moon Mother. The correct answer is, of course, Shar.
Fuck.
Shar is the mistress of the night, the Lady of Loss, the Night Singer, the Night Bringer, the Singer of Eternal Night, the Dark Lady, the Dark Goddess, the Dark Deity, the Goddess of Loss, the Mistress of Pain, the Goddess of Thieves, the Unseen Lady, the Dark Traitor, the Shadowy Seductress, and Our Lady of Loss. And of course, she is the deity who Shadowheart worships in Baldur's Gate 3. The moon and the night are enemies and sisters.
The BDSM goddess, of course.
I mean, kinda.
The wrong 50.
You got the wrong 50. My first woo.
Correct.
Wait, Missy, are you saying the Shadowheart was the first NPC you wooed, or it was the first one you got correct?
Oh. Like woo.
Like woo, or wooing. As we woo to our leaderboard, where Yield Mill Disappointing Wizard is in first place with D&D
I want to
and
cast
PP.
magic missile.
D&D and PP in second, BD and DSM in third, Bootleg Bard in fourth, and Ohafa Coelfa in fifth. Happy Rogue flying up the leaderboard, though, down to sixth place.
Flying up, so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Good. Suffer.
Suffer as we go to question 6. Another one that, if you've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, will be a little easier. The villainous Illithids are also known as Aboleths, Beholders, Demogorgons, or Mind Flayers.
Okay.
Seen here is one of these villainous creatures.
So, I'm going to guess, because Illithid sounds to me like something in the ocean, right? Like a thid, like, that sounds like number of legs type of stuff.
Oh, this is Gary Gygax.
Like a centipede or a, and so because it's in the ocean and because I know that mind flayers look like squids, I'm going to guess mind flayers. Because they're squiddy boys, right?
Well, most of you guessed Mind Flayers, and most of you are correct.
I was totally
They're also known as Geik to the Githyanki, and they have powerful psychic powers and consume their victims' personalities by eating their brains while they're still alive.
We like to cause suffering to both the winners and the losers,
Yeah.
so we love that.
I mean, you know what?
Technically.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
could.
Okay, I'll add it.
Ha. Ha. Now, one of you has gotten a point for saying beholder.
Because they have done breeding experiments on beholders.
Was it you, Apollo Koala, who guessed beholder and now has a point because of Studio Cat? I love this.
Also, look at this cool mind flare.
I was the only wrong answer. I love how standing up for each other has also caused more suffering.
Look at this pirate mind flare.
He just looks like Davy Jones.
Yeah, he does. He sure does.
You meant to hit beholder, so you would have gotten the grace of Studio Cat's argumentation with Fluval, but you did not.
But you didn't.
You did not.
The suffer for you. Yeah, the illithid predate recorded
friend.
history. Oh yeah,
It's a little buddy.
the Gith that exists to cause division. The Githyanki call him Gasmoenius Maystar.
Ah! Gasmoenius.
I gotta get back to Hello from the Magic Tavern. I love Isildur. Not Isildur, Isidore. Isildur. I love Isildur. You know, Gasmoenius Maystar.
You know, Isildur, who did not throw the ring into the fire. Throw it into the fire, Isildur. But that never happened in the books. So don't hate Isildur. No one knew what the ring was.
I am Usador, Wizard of the 12th. I'm not gonna do that whole thing.
Wizard of the 12th realm of
Or
Ephesius.
maybe we are. Are we?
That's the only part I remember. Cast it!
Cast
Cast it
it!
on! Cast it into the fire!
I mean, he has so many names. We can't go through all of his names, like Bagel Me Fingies, Papa Mache.
I thought you were talking about his Isildur for a second. I'm like, Papa Me Fingies is a very funny name for Isildur.
Oh, that's
the thing with the ring.
true.
Like, and he's the one who cut off, Papa Me
Okay.
Fingies, he pop it off the Sauron.
Here it goes. I am Usador, Wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius, Master of Light and Shadow, Manipulator of Magical Delights, Devourer of Chaos, Champion of the Great Halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiang Yalak. The dwarves know me as Zonin and Hookstinges. I am also known in the northeast as Gasmoenius Maystar. There are many other names of great power, that if they were spoken aloud would surely rend mortal body in twain, and your spirit would travel the middle planes of existence until time itself had ended.
True.
So
But we can just do that for you, like on
I'm
the
happy to
weekends.
rend your
Yeah,
existence.
we can rend. Yeah.
I'm happy to rend your existence, just like I'm happy to go to the leaderboard. Where, of course, Ye Old Mill Disappointing Wizard is in first, D&D and PP in second, BD and DSM in third, Ohatha Coelfa in fourth,
Potatoes. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
and Happy Rogue in fifth place.
Do you have any secret names, Fluval?
They're secret.
Fluval.
They're secret.
Fluval.
What good is a secret name
Fluval.
if you say it aloud? I mean, you know, like, you let one king play a secret chord once,
We can't.
and they're
say that
still
one
making
aloud.
songs about it. Years, centuries later.
A secret chord.
Yeah. And it
They
pleased the Lord.
say there was a secret chord.
Yeah. I don't want you making a song about my secret name if I reveal it to you once centuries ago. So
Yeah, then you'll put it in a Shrek movie.
you're
and
not
make
getting it out of me.
everyone cry.
Yeah, you'll have two superheroes have sex to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sleepover trivia.
Okay, if you're at a sleepover, maybe.
Maybe via the rules, you know. Of
Those are the rules of
sleepover.
sleepover.
It is true. The great Leonard Cohen. Photoshop. No.
What did you want to watch earlier?
Your buddy who was brought out before Congress.
That's right.
As evidence of
Because we're
aliens.
we're halfway through. So we should watch.
Saul kept trying to kill David. Kept trying to do it.
Did you want to watch the video or just look at the corpse?
let's just look at the corpse.
Yeah.
And you can, like, tell us about your buddy, aliens. I love it. Yes, because we are going to present to you a very real alien. Definitely a being that lived and had sapience.
This is my buddy Gary, the sapient group of clay. He liked to commit pranks. He was kind of like a clay Johnny Knoxville in that way. And I guess he went too far.
Yeah, he took it too far.
And,
he fucked around and
he fucked around and found out that
out.
when you try to be an alien, sometimes they get you.
Yeah, sometimes they get you. Wow.
Oh, we got a who do they look like? We got a who do they look like for this very real alien. Who does this look like?
Very real.
Oh,
alien.
Johnny Roxville.
Ho ho! Yeah, we can sort of Weekend at Bernie's her through, right?
But who does this look like?
This looks like... Well, it looks like every gray, you know? It looks just like a gray alien, but it also kind of looks like the skulls from Crystal Skull. The face does a little bit like aliens. Yeah, the Crystal Skull aliens. It has that, like, nice elongated
Okay, so you're
back
saying
of the head thing.
it looks like Elvis from the game Perfect Dark.
Yes. That's a game that looks like a plush.
That's a plush.
Okay.
This is him in the game.
Yeah, this is him hydrated. If you put the other guy in water, he looks like this. Gary's not dead. You just have to put him in water. He's like those fish in Burning Man that, like, only wake up, you know, when it rains.
It does look a lot like dehydrated E.T.
Yeah. Yeah. It does look a lot like E.T., damn. Like E.T. with a gray body, you know? Where it's just kind of like generic humanoid.
It looks kind of like the forest creatures from Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. I love those guys. Yes, that is what haunts David Duchovny's dreams. It does have the E.T. neck. It has that, like, little neck. You know? A xenomorph wearing a dehydrated baby face. It does have a xenomorph kind of style thing going on.
It looks like this behind the scenes photo of Palpatine with his hood down.
Really does. Wait, can we get a side by side?
No.
No. Okay, can we switch really fast in
Yeah,
between
we
them?
can do that.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah.
I mean, Palpatine has more life in his eyes, but
See, they're aliens, not probes. If they were probes, they would try and probe you. But you see, Gary here, alien. He was going to go to Burning Man. He should have, because then he would have been rehydrated by the rain. But didn't. They do look like the guys. They do look like No Face from Spirited Away. Yeah. I don't know which one to shoot! Mexico hearing, though?
oh no! You know who they look like?
Who?
Last week on Missed Calls, there was that presidential sculptor who did that Fred Rogers sculpture.
Oh, yes! He looks like a Fred Rogers sculpture!
And they look like that artist's work.
Yes!
Who was
oh
that?
my god, yes!
Jeffrey Erlinger, I think?
Just horrible.
No, not Erlinger. That's a. Why did that come up? That's a disability activist.
Well, because they did Lady Bird, right? In the White House.
Yeah. Shoot, what was that person's name, Missy?
You could also look up Lady Bird in the presidential portraits. Paul Day?
Yeah, maybe. Robert Burks. Thank you.
Burks.
Google really let me down there.
That's who Gary looks like, a Robert Burks. Burks!
Yeah, so
Burks!
that.
Yep.
It looks like, you know where that person who repaired the Jesus painting?
Yep.
It looks like someone tried to repair one of his statues.
Yep. That is spot on. That is exactly what it is, Fluval. Wow. So that's Gary, Fluval's buddy, who looks like if someone tried to fix a Burks, Robert Burks sculpture.
Yeah. It is.
Works.
And now let's
Bork.
advance. Let's long rest here. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's Gary. That's my guy. He loves doing stunts. Mm-hmm. He's a regular Johnny Rocksville. Mm-hmm. As we go to question number 7. Which of these deities is not one of the dead 3?
Oh.
Bane, the Lord of Darkness, Baal, the Lord of Murder, Jurgle, the Lord of the End of Everything, or Merkel, the Lord of Bones? And to be clear, Merkel is not Angela Merkel, the former German chancellor. Just clarifying that right now.
Or Meghan Markle.
Or Meghan Markle. Not Meghan Markle either.
Markle. Did I do that?
Not 90s phenom played by Jaleel White either.
Did I?
Jaleel played
do
Sonic, but
that?
didn't play Merkel, the Lord of Bones. Yeah, and it's not Bane.
Not the Bane from Batman.
It's not Bane from Batman.
Bane.
They do look like the
Yes.
alien mummies that they found there. Yeah.
Yes.
David Boreanaz is the only Lord of Bones for me. Well, let's see what you picked. 4 of you said Bane, the Lord of Darkness.
Bane.
1 of you said Baal, the Lord of Murder. 5 of you said Jurgle, the Lord of the End of Everything. And 2 of you said Merkel, the Lord of Bones. The correct answer to this D&D lore question is Jurgle, the Lord of the End of Everything.
Lord.
The Lord. Because despite being Faerun's original Lord of the Dead, he was not one of the Dead 3. In fact, the Dead 3 got their powers from Jurgle when Jurgle seeded his various portfolios, which is what D&D calls what the gods oversee. They just call them portfolios.
So they are just financial guys
Yeah.
running everything. Cool.
And he
cool.
Jurgle split up his portfolio amidst those mortals.
It's like a bad Terry Pratchett.
And they
There is no
died.
bad Terry Pratchett. I'm sorry. There's no bad Terry Pratchett.
Those gods died despite being gods.
Oh, I see.
And then they became the Dead 3 because they were dead gods.
I see. How
And
wonderful.
but you know, they're gods, so like that didn't stop their influence. And
Yeah.
Jurgle is the sound an infant makes.
That's why it's the end of everything.
That's true.
Yeah. The beginning of a human. The end of everything
Yes.
else.
Except-
Since I don't know any of these questions, there's no way I'll win.
Yeah.
Hitting randomly without looking.
I mean, that has served people well.
Strategy.
Let's go to leaderboard to see where you're starting from. With BDN DSM in first, D&D MPP in second, and Ye Old Mill Disappointing Wizard in third. Pinkerton Suck Shit currently in last place, despite being correct.
Ah. OMG, Sam winning.
Sam's winning, wow.
Wow. But look, DNDNPP coming up 20 points behind. At the very least, Max suffering.
That's
At
true,
the
coming
very
up
least.
20 points behind. Nope, that wasn't supposed to switch that. I don't like that you just switch questions, crowd purr.
Yeah, that wasn't good of you. Should I punish crowd purr?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's question 8. In the original Baldur's Gate, the Ranger Mink's companion is a miniature giant space hamster named Boo, Fido, Hammy, or Harvey.
Harvey.
Boo, Fido, Hammy, or Harvey.
Harvey. You exited out and got back in.
No
and
one
somehow
answered the last
got it.
question.
No one answered?
Well, no, the final question that I skipped to. Did you get did you get question 7 correct? What did you say?
The Wonder Hamster?
Yeah, miniature giant space hamster.
Yeah. It's like a miniature giant elephant or a miniature giant cat. Go for the eyes.
Well, they didn't hear that.
Oh, well, I heard that.
You heard it. Yeah, it said the game was paused for a second because I paused it trying to go to the last question to double check a setting.
I see.
Let's see what you picked. It should all work now. Yeah. I did pause it. 4 of you said Boo. 1 of you said Fido. 3 of you said Hammy. 4 of you said Harvey. Well, let's check the clip from Baldur's Gate 1 to find out the correct answer.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Rusk!
And if listen to that voice, it's the same voice actor as Pooh Bear.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Rusk!
And you can tell that that's Jim Cummings.
Go for the eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes. Rusk!
And giant space hamsters were introduced in Go for the eyes, Pooh.
Go for the eyes.
Giant
There's
space
honey in
hamsters were
there.
introduced in Dungeons & Dragons Spelljammer setting as giant hamsters bred to paddle wheels that power flying ships.
Ooh.
It also clarifies that they can be bred in a miniature form that's the size of a normal hamster. David Gator, the senior designer behind the original Baldur's Gate games, has clarified that Boo has no powers beyond those of a normal hamster. And he went on to create the setting for Dragon Age
Oh, bother.
as well, which is not Dungeons & Dragons related.
Bother.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother.
Yeah, 4 of you got it right. It was Boo.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the leaderboard, where BD and DSM is in first. Happy Rogue all the way up in second now. D and DMPP in third.
Ooh.
And of course, in fourth, it's none other than Ye Old Mill, Disappointing Wizard,
Ye Old
and Bootleg
Mill.
Bard is in fifth. Well, why don't we now make our way to question number 9? Penultimate question. True or false, the 2 official magazines for Dungeons & Dragons were Dungeon and Dragon? Is that true or is that false? The 2 official magazines for Dungeons & Dragons were Dungeon and Dragon. Seen here as a rogue/cleric multi-class doing a sneak attack, getting bopped on the head, and then curing wounds.
Aww.
What do you think the answer is, intern periodical?
I mean, I hope it's true.
Yeah?
Because that's great. Like,
I want to cast magic missile.
exactly.
Thank you for
exactly.
casting Magic Missile, the Argyle. And thank you for that earlier Who Do They Look Like, Lena.
I was just thinking about our rogue cleric running around in the studio, supposed to
Yeah.
be doing studio cat work.
But not.
But not.
Well, let's see what you picked. 8 of you said true, 4 of you said false. The correct answer is true. That's true. Dungeon launched as a bi-monthly periodical in 1986. It went monthly in 2003 and ended in 2007. It then became an online magazine. And then Dragon launched as a monthly printed magazine in 1976 and ran in print until 2007. And then transitioned into an online magazine, which ran until 2013. Yeah. And it also, many settings, some prominent D&D settings actually made their debut in the pages of these magazines.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, and I do remember when your Magic Missile missed in Baldur's Gate, despite the whole point of Magic Missile being it never misses.
Ooh.
Oh. Thank you for that
Neither,
Planet
yeah.
Destroy 1B BBR.
Yes, our planet laser also never misses. Never
Neither does our leaderboard, where BD and DSM is in first. Happy Rogue is in second. D and DMPP in third. Ye Old Mill, Disappointing Wizard in fourth place. And what would Glut do?
I love that
Fifth.
there are more people are in the positives. Okay.
Yeah.
Because yes, I see. I was like, oh my god, only the first 3 have positive. I love that.
No, there's a lot of
Cowboy
positives this
Bebo.
game. Cowboy Bebo is a really good name.
Not doing so well tonight, partner.
Well, now let's go to our final question. What was the first published Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting?
Ooh.
Blackmoor, Eberron, Forgotten Realms, or Greyhawk?
Okay.
Do you know the answer to this one? Intern campaign?
No, but I really like that betoothed chest.
This would be a mimic, I think.
I think that it's the trunk from Terry Pratchett's books.
Oh.
I think that, a trunk that can just, like, eat you, I love that. You put your clothes in it, suddenly, you're not going on vacation anymore. You were eaten by a trunk. Luggage, yes.
The luggage. A studio cat found something sus.
Oh. It's looking a little saucy over there.
It's seeming sauce. And this is first, again, before I get to the answers, this is first published Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting. Not necessarily which was the first created. So I hope you read that carefully when you locked in your answers.
Already Trixie.
4 of you said Blackmore. 1 of you said Eberron. 3 of you said the Forgotten Realms. 5 of you said Greyhawk. Blackmore is the correct answer because it debuted in 1977 and was created by Dave Arneson. And it actually predates the D&D rules set, as Arneson created it to play with Gary Gygax's previous game, Chainmail. And this was inspired by the Conan novels and Gothic horror before it expanded to draw on Lord of the Rings, Dark Shadows, and more. And it debuted for the public in 1975 as part of the second supplement for Dungeons & Dragons.
I love that you're picking randomly. I got you that answer correctly. I hope the rest of you are suffering accordingly. 1977 punk rock and D&D. We don't talk about anything else that was happening in 1977. We don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, that 77 I think was a
punk rock
I see.
and
so,
D&D.
To clarify those dates, because I said 77 and 75, in 75, the Blackmore first debuted in the supplement called Blackmore, but then the setting got it really detailed for the first time in 77.
I see.
So it debuted in 75, but got fleshed out in 77, and that's where you got baronies, citadels, the histories of leaders, and details on the dungeon, and more rules and all that, and it was actually fleshed out.
Fun.
Greyhawk debuted in 1980 and was created by Gary Gygax for his home game. The first part created was Castle Greyhawk, and then the dungeon below it. Spells in Dungeons & Dragons are actually named after characters from his game. The spell Melf's Acid Arrow is named after an elf played by Gary Gygax's son Luke. And the spell Tensor's Floating Disc was named after the wizard Tensor, played by his other son Ernie. I like that he snuck his kids' names into, like, his kids' character names into spells.
It is very cute.
And the Forgotten Realms were born around 1967 as the setting. Yes, Melf the Elf.
It's Melf the Elf!
So the Forgotten Realms were born in 1967 as the setting for the designer Ed Greenwood's childhood fantasy stories. And then he started doing role-playing games in them. And they appeared in articles in Dragon magazine starting in 1979. But it debuted as an official D&D setting in 1987. And the name Forgotten Realms comes from the idea that it existed in a multiverse.
Okay.
And that all of Earth's legends are derived from a fantasy world that can no longer be accessed.
I see. Malf the Elf. You'll hear that from a lot of people who are trying to manipulate you on TikTok.
You will, which is legitimately part of why D&D didn't use that part of it. It's that, and they were worried
because it was so quickly co-opted by spiritualists.
They thought kids would hurt themselves trying to find a portal to the Forgotten Realms.
I might.
And so they were like, we're just going to not do that part, even though they kept the name. He also said his home game version of the Forgotten Realms is way darker than the actual version in D&D. And then Eberron is the most recent setting, debuting in 2004. It was created by Keith Baker and was the winning entry in 2002's A Fantasy Setting Search. And he won $100,000 for creating the setting, which he originally called The Thrilling Tales of Swords and Sorcery. And it was intended to fuse fantasy, pulp, film noir, and steampunk, and was influenced by Casablanca, From Hell, The Maltese Falcon, The Mummy, Name of the Rose, Pirates of the Caribbean, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Sleepy Hollow, and is where the robotic Warforged make their debut. A lot more guns in general, too.
This is for the witch girlies that, like, for some reason have one chapter in Isis Unveiled, like, really underlined. You know, the one about root races?
Warforged Beyblade.
Warforged Beyblade. I love that.
Well, that was our final question, so I think we have to find out who won our game of trivia tonight. In third place, it's Happy Rogue with 536 points. In second place, it's D&D and PP with 578 points. And in first place, it's BD and DSM with 637 points.
Congratulations!
This was such a close game. Congratulations to Sam for winning our game of Dungeons and Dragons trivia.
Wonka bars down under!
Yeah, we're sending those Wonka bars down under, but don't you worry. Everyone else. Yes, Sam, send us your address so we can send you the prize. But there's also one prize everyone gets to enjoy. The whole planet was one big city. Thank you
You
for...
live on Batman Street. Perfect.
That's perfect. Well, actually, if you live on Batman Street... We had to use that one.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us for this exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragons Trivia. Be sure to join us again next week for another episode of Grand Trivia on a mystery topic yet to be revealed.
If you have a topic that you want trivia about,
Yes.
Tell us.
Tell us. Message us on Twitch or on Twitter or Instagram with a topic you'd like to see on Grand Trivia.
What would Sovereign Glut do?
What would Sovereign Glut do?
Good Darcy.
Oh, you'd like? I mean, we could do
D&D trivia.
We could do D&D trivia. We'll probably do it again at some point.
D&D.
Sometimes on the obverse of a
trivia.
Autism trivia. Sometimes on the obverse of a coin, there's a face, and sometimes on Hershey Park's Reese's Cup Fusion, writers become agents who help the Reese's security chief, Commander Cup, protect Reese's Central from which of these villains? Or in other words...
Oh my gosh, Gretchen, have you heard about Reese's Cup Fusion at Hershey Park? It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I heard you become some kind of secret agent. But who are we protecting Reese's Central from? Like, evil chocolate chips?
No, silly. It's more intense than that. We have to stop the diabolical Pop Rocks trio.
Pop Rocks trio? Are they armed with fizzy weapons or something?
I think so, and they're led by the notorious M&M Melt in Your Mouth Marauder. He's scary, but delicious.
Well, I hope we have some backup. What about the Sour Patch Snipers?
No, they defected to the sweet side. Now, it's the Twizzler Thieves and the Renegade Risinettes we have to worry about.
Oh no, are they going to pull a licorice lasso on us?
Maybe, but Commander Cup will guide us. Together, we'll save Reese's Central and snack on victory.
Thank you to Things from the Void for sending that to us last week.
All true, all real.
All true, all real. And be sure to join us next week for another exciting episode of Grand Trivia, because, you know, we'll see you then. We have your coordinates.
Fluval, 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 Here he comes, swimming closer than farther away. Fluval, 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 Fluval.